Hey guys, welcome back. Now, here in this session, we'll talk about ASAP methodology, or that is called project phase. Okay. In previous session, I explained how a project comes to a particular organization, right? So there, I have explained lots of things, right? Where the center of excellence team, a team of expert came into picture. Then these people went to the client location. They had a discussions on this enterprise structure and all. So somewhere, like somewhere or the other, that is also associated. Like once I start enterprise structure related configurations, then at least you guys will be having some idea like who is going to discuss this structure, right? Now, so after having all the discussions, then what happened, guys? These people have prepared a document and they have handed over to the delivery manager. And then after what happened, guys? Delivery manager is going to hire a project manager to handle that particular project is going to be handled by a project manager itself, guys. If you talk about implementation project, right? And the project manager is responsible for all like success and failure of this project, right? So all this appreciation, depreciation, whatever is there is goes to, first of all, the credit will be given to project manager itself, right? So project manager is going to handle that particular project, right? So these things we have already discussed. Now what next, guys? The next one is, I said that when we talk about implementation project, then there will be a deadline, right? And deadline means like max to max, it's supposed to be completed in 1 year. Implementation, if it is a big client also, still max to max 1 year, because generally people, try to complete in 7 8 months itself, but of course there will be some kind of delay, and most likely because of from the client side itself, sometime it takes some time to get the data, and it happens because if we talk about the client, right? So client means their employees, they're working, right? So they have to perform their day-to-day activity, as well as they have to give certain information, certain data to us also, right? So their workload bit increase. Now, so let's suppose a deadline is given by client, that is in 8 months we have to complete this implementation. So how it is going to happen, guys? So SAP is saying that whenever you go for implementation, multiple activities are going to be done. So you better to segregate this entire activity in certain phases, right? And this is how we can be able to achieve, in the sense we can able to meet our whatever the target is given by client, that okay, in 8 months it must be completed. So multiple activities are there. These all activities are going to be segregated and okay, in certain phases, phase wise, all the activities are going to be segregated. For every phase, certain deadline is going to be decided. First phase must be completed in 1 month. Second phase must be completed in 2 months. Third phase must be completed in 4 months. Fourth phase must be completed in 1 month. Like that, certain deadline is going to be given by project manager, and this is how then finally we are going to complete this implementation within the specified time limit, right? Okay. Now there is a question from Naveen here. Is it the same for all? So this, okay, no. This is not a question actually. Naveen is asking that voice is not audible. Okay. So guys, just log out and log in. Okay. So now, and this is, if you talk about ASAP methodology, guys, this is the standard methodology. Okay. Standard methodology means it is going to be segregated. This project phase means it is going to be segregated in 5 phases only. No 4 and no 6. Okay. It's not like that you can decide as per your convenience that okay, it should be like only we are going to segregate in 3 phases only. No. Standard 5 phases are given by SAP, and in every phase the activities are also decided that in first phase these are the activities supposed to be done, in second phase these are the activities supposed to be done, in third phase these are the activities supposed to be done. What are the activities going to be done, guys? That I'll explain here. Okay, one by one. Look at here. So guys, this is called ASAP methodology. What is the full form of ASAP methodology, guys? It is called accelerated SAP methodology. Accelerated SAP methodology. It is also called ASAP roadmap methodology. Okay. Accelerated SAP methodology means what, guys? See, it is a kind of methodology or method, right, which is going to accelerate the speed of implementation. It is a methodology which is going to increase the speed of our implementation. Guys, if there is no deadline, do you think that the project is going to be completed? It is not completed within 2 years also. If there is no deadline is given by client, today I have done certain configurations, again, very slow, what you say, these things will be there, right? So there is no guarantee that even if it is going to be finished in 2 months also, sorry, 2 years also, 3 years also, people become careless. Now, so here, accelerated SAP methodology, that is the full form. It is also called ASAP roadmap methodology, because here, look at here, there is a kind of roadmap, right? This is our final destination, phase number 5, that is called go live. It means go live means from that particular phase onwards, SAP is ready to record the live transaction, right? Okay, so before go live, multiple phases are there. If you take example of a building construction, guys, there also they are going to segregate these are they're all construction activity in certain phases. That in first phase this much activity, this much work supposed to be done. In second phase this much supposed to be done. In third phase all this colors and other things are going to be wiring, and these things are going to take place in, like fourth or fifth phase, doors and windows are going to be installed, right? Likewise multiple what do you say, phases will be there, and at last phase, inauguration, in the sense ownership is going to be handed over to the customers, and based on that they are selling the plan only, right? The building construction is not done still, they started selling the flats, right? And people started investing now. So likewise here, this SAP is also project. Now look at here. So 5 phases, total 5 phases are there. First phase is, during this phase, team goes through initial planning and preparations for SAP project. So here generally what happened, guys? First of all, team size and team member. So in project preparation phase, solely there will be involvement of project manager itself. You guys are not going to do anything. Your involvement is not at all. Your involvement will be here at kickoff meeting. Okay, what is this? That I'll let you know. Team size and team member. So how many members are required? What should be the size of team? That is the first question. And then how many members are required to implement this particular project, right? So this is first of all decided by project manager. Now there is no any formula to calculate how many consultants are required, guys. It's based on the experience only, they will decide. And initially, of course, they are going to invite less candidate, in the sense like, let's suppose 40. Okay, later on, if they feel that no, still if we are going to proceed with this speed, it is not possible to meet the deadline, then what will happen, guys? What for they are maintaining the extra resources in free pool? Of course, they will utilize those resources. They are going to supply some extra consultant, right? They are going to supply some extra consultant to meet the deadline. Okay, so team size and team member, it is going to be decided by project manager. Project planning, that is also going to be prepared by project manager itself, guys. Most likely they'll prepare a PPT. Okay, that is called, you can say any name, guys, project charter or anything, but different name will be there, right? Organization wise. So that is also going to be prepared by project manager itself. Okay, a document or PPT is prepared by project manager, that is going to be presented by project manager to the consultants, where all the details about the clients will be there. Okay, now like what is like the nature of this project, right? Apart from this, like let's suppose what is the client expectations, what is the deadline given by client, right? If once the phases are already like decided, then what is the deadline for first phase, what is the deadline for second phase, what is the deadline for third phase, right? And multiple other things will be there, because see, once we proceed further, then multiple configurations are going to take place, right? At the same time, we have to prepare certain documents also. So while preparing the documents, what should be the nomenclature of that documents? It means how we are going to specify the name of that particular document, in which format it is going to be. So these all things are going to be presented by project manager. Okay. So in this planning, of course, he is going to decide these all things and will be presented by project manager. So when he is going to present these things, guys, look at here, during kick-off meeting. What do you mean by kick-off meeting, guys? Some of you might be knowing who has already seen my YouTube videos. Anybody just tell me?
Before start of the project, they will conduct a meeting when to start and explaining about plan and all. I believe that is kickoff meeting.
Okay. So guys, of course, it is a kind of, you can say, introductory meeting, right? Or else like, okay. So there is a response from Lakshman here, discussion about the project, and project will begin. Yes, of course. So discussion about the project itself. Kickoff meeting means internal meeting. Okay. Raj is saying that COE and client discuss about the exact scope of work. No guys, COE will not be involved here. In kickoff meeting, COE, Center of Excellence team, I mean to say team of expert, that they have already left the client location long back. Right? First interaction is happening with the COE itself, but in kickoff meeting, COE involvement will not be there. Only consultant plus project manager. Consultant plus project manager will be there. Okay, in this kickoff meeting. So now kickoff meeting is internal meeting where what is happening, guys? First of all, so everybody's are going to introduce. See, I'll tell you guys, SAP means multiple modules are going to be configured, right? We don't know who is the SD consultant. We don't know who is the MM consultant among this crowd of 40 people or 45 people or 50 people. So everybody are going to introduce themselves that, hi, this is XYZ. I'm going to handle this project as a senior MM consultant, as a junior SD consultant, right? So that we will be having, okay, he is the SD consultant, he is the MM consultant, like that. It will be, right? Okay. So kickoff meeting is internal meeting. Okay. Now, sometime what happened, it depends upon project manager. If they want to invite from client side, let's suppose, if they want to invite certain people, they can invite. But generally, we can say this is a core internal meeting itself. So generally, everybody are going to introduce, and then after whatever this project planning, right? So whatever the documentations has been prepared by project manager is going to be explained during this kickoff meeting itself. He'll explain all this deadline and everything is going to be explained here itself. So these things are happening. If you talk about activity, guys, none of the activities are done till now. Simply internal meeting has been, has taken place, and before that, of course, the resource recruitment was going on. Resource recruitment, because the team size and team member. So how many members are required? How these people are going to, so how he is going to hire the people, guys? Of course, internal and external hiring. Internal means if somebody's profile is there in free pool, right? It means like if they are not having any project, then project manager is going to invite those people. And apart from this, external means through job portals and all, they are going to hire the candidate. So that is happening in first phase, and hope I have already explained this concept of free pool. It's pretty simple, guys. You all are working somewhere in the organizations and all. So all of a sudden, if project gone, then what happened? Your profile will be the part of free pool. It means you are sitting on bench. If you are sitting on bench means you don't have any work to do. Simply daily basis just going to the office, put your attendance and play carom, TT, whatever it is. Generally it happens in IT, right? Due to COVID and all, now these things are gone. But earlier, yes, it was there. No. So once the kickoff meeting is done, then we are having the next phase. Next phase is called business blueprint phase. So in this phase, what is happening, guys? In this phase, consultant will have a discussion with their respective department member, that is called core team member, regarding the business process. Okay. So generally what happened, guys? See, till now what we have done, till now the meeting was only internal meeting was there. But what for like this team has been what for this, for which purposes this team has been built up, guys? That is for implementations, and that too for Tata Motor. So of course now we have to interact with the client, right? So in this phase, consultant will have a discussion with their respective department member, that is called core team member. Okay, what do you mean by core team member? Anyone is having any idea?
Team which is decided to plan for that particular project.
Core team member means team which is decided. No, CTM is having different logic, guys. Okay. See, I'll tell you. Don't confuse with the name. Okay. I got certain messages here. So Momika is saying like FICO team. Lakshman is saying senior. Okay. Raj is saying consultant assigned for the particular project, right? Particular department. Okay. So guys, now generally what happened now in blueprint phase, generally a discussion is going to happen between client and consultant. Okay. Now in consultant, most likely what happened, then the meeting is going to be conducted. Meeting will be conducted between client and consultant. Okay. Now let's suppose if you are a finance consultant, right? And that too you are a senior consultant. So what will happen? If you have to, because we need to know the process, Tata Motor business process, right? So see, most of the processes will be same only. If you talk about account payable, right? Account payable means everywhere the same process is there. If you talk about P2P, everywhere the same process will be there. Differences will be there in terms of taxes and other things, right? Okay. But still, our discussion will be there, right? So here in this phase consultant will have a discussion with their respective department member, that is called core team member. Now, finance consultant is going to discuss with finance team, right? Okay. But guys, in finance team, let's suppose there is a team of 200 people. So do you think that you as a consultant, as a finance consultant, you are going to discuss with each and every person one by one? This is impossible, right? So what is happening? Client is going to appoint a particular representative of that finance team, a particular team. From finance team, there will be one responsible person who is going to represent the finance team, right? So you as a consultant, if you need any informations, if you need to discuss anything, simply you are going to discuss with that representative, right? The person who is going to represent the finance team. And most likely you can say like a senior person will be appointed from finance department, that whenever consultants are having, like whenever they need any informations, they are going to contact that particular person. And if he knows the, what to say, if he is having all the idea, he will explain, and he is going to what to say, give the whatever required inputs are there. And if still if he is not comfortable, then he is going to contact the respective person, and then he is going to collect all the data, and that will be given to us. Which data, guys? So here the clarity you guys will be getting during configurations. For each and every configurations, guys, we need certain input from client. Right? Let's suppose if I have to set up GL accounts, how many GL accounts are going to be set up? Who is going to decide, guys? It's not my decision. How many GL accounts are going to be set up? That will be decided by client. What should be the nomenclature of that GL account? Why should I decide, guys? That will be decided by client. Right? I'm going to set up a particular GL account. That GL account belongs to balance sheet or P&L statement, profit and loss statement. So why should I decide, guys? That will be decided by client. This is why finance people from finance background, of course, if they're having perfect knowledge, they're going to survive very easily. And even non-finance and account people are also able to survive easily as a FICO consultant, right? Because we are not going to decide, right? We are going to receive the requirement from client, and we have to configure these things. We have to deliver to the client, right? So all those things, like let's suppose if the client says that I want so and so accounting entry, right? So simply the people who is able to understand the accounting entry, those people also, or people who is not able to understand the accounting entry, both people are going to discuss with the client, and they will say, you tell me which GL you want in debit side and which GL you want in credit side, right? So if anybody knows the configuration perfectly, they are going to map these things, right? So very small example I have quoted, guys. Once I start the practical session, there are many more things to explain. Okay. So this is what, like as I said, representative of that finance team, right? So that representative is called core team member, CTM. This is the standard word, right? Customized could be anything, right? In previously I have worked for multiple projects. Now, so somewhere like, okay, so earlier for one project, we used to say them as a like team head. Okay, not CTM, team head. In other project, we used to say expert, right? In my previous implementation project, those people, this core team member, we used to say champions. So this was like decided during project itself that okay, whatever the core team members are there, so these people, if any customized name is going to be given by project manager, it's okay, or is the standard name is called core team member. Sometime what happened, guys, once you go for interview and if you're using experience, right? So interviewer, in order to test your knowledge, right, immediately they will ask, okay, you tell me, so you have done the implementation of this FICO module, and for you're showing like, so for so and so client you have done the implementations. You tell me who was your core team member, CTM, who was your CTM? Sometime what happened, guys, people think till 30 seconds, 40 seconds. Oh my God, what name I should say over there? Because they feels that why he is asking, right? Why he is asking this question, who was the core team member? Is there any chances that he was the part of that project? Right? So people become afraid and they are going to be caught, right? Be confident. Project, whoever the interviewer is asking this question and all, there is 0% chances that he was the part of that project, right? Anyway, so those things I'll explain later. Like once the interview question and answers preparations happen, then I'll let you know how to handle in such kind of situation. Okay, so generally, core team member means a representative of a particular department, and that too from client side, right? So with those people, we are going to discuss about the business process. We'll record the entire requirement in a document which is called blueprint. Okay, so whatever the requirements are there, guys, whatever the discussions are happening, right? So client will explain, okay, we are having this, we are posting these invoices, we are having tax related entries. From asset management, multiple transactions are getting posted, right? Then we have like, apart from some other processes are going to be explained, tax related, whatever the processes are there is going to be explained, right? For cash management, cash journal, in the sense petty cash related, all these things are, so multiple discussions will happen, right? So these all are standard process, right? Here I have specified we are going to discuss with about the business process. We'll record the entire requirement in a document which is called blueprint. Guys, blueprint document is very important. Okay. Here I'll tell you one thing. You guys, some of you or most of you have already taken training from somewhere, right? But here people are not comfortable on this blueprint part, right? People think, oh my God, how to prepare this blueprint, right? I'll tell you guys, if the senior consultant is smart, then the blueprint will be prepared by a junior consultant only. Because there is nothing, guys. I'll show you. Don't worry. Okay. These there'll be a topic called types of document. There, I'll show you that how easy it is. Okay. So, but people will have a fear that if I have to prepare the blueprint, I know nothing how to prepare the blueprint. Right. So don't worry, guys. Nothing is difficult. Okay. It depends upon the explanations of the faculty and the kind of example is given by faculty. Right. One example is going to make the same topic quite simple. Another example, if the example itself is not clear, then the topic itself is going to be quite tough. You won't be able to understand, right? So this is what. Now we'll record the entire requirement in a document that is called blueprint document, right? So in blueprint, guys, multiple things will come into picture. All the standard process, like let's suppose if I have to prepare a blueprint, right? How we are going to prepare a blueprint, guys? It's not like we are going to prepare the blueprint from a scratch. Generally, what happened? When you guys are going to, let's suppose once you become a consultant, and that too, if you are the part of implementation project, okay. As a senior consultant, I don't think that you guys are going to handle the project initially until unless you have 4 or 5 years of experience, right? So initially, as a junior consultant or associate consultant, you can be the part of an implementation project. Very less chances are there, but still, if you got, then you have to work as a associate consultant or trainee consultant, associate consultant most likely, right? It means you have to help your senior consultant. Now, so I'll tell you, if you have to prepare a blueprint, so first of all, you guys are going to get the access of a drive called shared drive. Okay. So what is there in shared drive, guys? In shared drive, multiple folders will be there. Multiple folders like this is for SAP, right? Java, .NET, right? Oracle, and likewise multiple folders will be there. If so, you are a SAP consultant, you will be having access of this folder only. Double click on this folder, then multiple other folders will be there, like here BBP, right? UT, IT, UAT, FS, like that. Several folders will be there. So this BBP means what, guys? Blueprint. So if you double click this folder, then there will be multiple blueprint documents will be available. These documents are called template document. Template means what, guys? It means you can, now you are going to copy one blueprint as a template and then we'll make some changes. We are going to edit that, okay? And after that, once the editing is completed, you can send this blueprint for review. First of all, to your senior consultant. Senior consultant will have a very small look and they are going to forward to the core team member. So core team member, they will have a look, and then these people are going to recommend some changes, that you just do one thing, change these things, change that things, lots of changes, right guys? Okay, so I'll just do one thing. So here, fi underscore, first of all, client name, then module name, then document name, and then version name. This is how the name will be given. That is going to be specified initially itself by project manager, that in this sequence we are going to provide the name of documents. So this document has been sent to the client. Client is saying that not approved. Then we are going to send the next one. They will recommend certain changes. We have made the changes. We are going to send another document. We have changed the version, right? This is also not approved. Now we are going to send the another one, right? Client is saying that this is approved, right? So here there was a question earlier, guys. Okay, there is a question. One candidate, let's suppose most of the candidate nowadays using experience and all. So client said, okay, so have you prepared blueprint? Candidate said, yes, I have prepared the blueprint. Okay, so now you tell me. Okay, so okay, before that there was a question that did you prepare the blueprint from beginning, or like you did something, you copied from somewhere, right? So here guys, smart candidate will always say that no, I didn't prepare from beginning, because we are having access of shared drive, and in shared drive, like we are having multiple template blueprints are there. So generally I copied from there and I made some editing, in the sense some changes, and then it was sent for the approval internally to my senior, and then from there it was forwarded to the client for their review and approval, right? So this is how you have to say. Now second thing is, he asked, okay, so if you have prepared the blueprint, you tell me which version of blueprint was approved by client. Anybody? Which version here, which version of blueprint? Okay, now so generally what happened guys, whichever version is going to be approved by client, you have to take a printout of that particular version, right? And then we'll have to produce before client for sign off, right? Sign off. Sign off means what guys? We need to take signature. And what is the purpose behind this blueprint guys? Because in blueprint, multiple discussions, whatever happen, those things are going to be specified, all the processes, what we have to deliver, how many process we are going to configure. Before starting configurations, what we have to do guys, we'll have to prepare a document, and there we are going to specify all the deliverable, that this is what we are going to deliver in SAP, right? And if client is agreed, then we'll say that now you have to give your confirmation. How the confirmations are going to be given guys? So whichever blueprint was approved, a printout will be taken of that blueprint, and then we'll say that now you have to put your signature. So from client side, the core team member, from client side also there will be a project manager also. See, one project manager is from this IT company side. Let's suppose if Wipro is doing this implementations, then one project manager will be from Wipro Technology. At the same time, one counterpart is going to be appointed, right? Counterpart, I mean to say, like if somebody is having a similar designations, right? So that is called your counterpart. Prime Minister of India, right? And Prime Minister of USA, is the counterpart of Prime Minister of India, right? So likewise, counterpart means project manager from client side. So even a project manager from client side also will be appointed, because if your core team member is not cooperative, you feel what you felt that whatever input we are demanding, he is taking some time to provide. If that is the case, then blueprint phase itself is going to take 6 months or 4 months or 5 months. Then what about the remaining phases? How come it possible to complete in a short span of time, right? So that is why there will be a project manager from client side. So that project manager will be putting their signature. At the same time, core team member, then project manager from Wipro side, in the sense if Wipro is doing this implementations, or IBM, Accenture, whichever companies are there, so their project manager, and you also as a senior, junior, whoever consultants are there. So senior and junior, both consultants also will be putting their signature. It means now client has approved, and mutually even we are also agreed that this is what the final requirement, and here all the requirements are going to be freezed right now. Freezing in the sense, now no more new requirements will be invited from client side. In the sense, no more new requirements are going to be accepted from client side. This is what the benefit of blueprint. And the second thing is, if blueprint is not prepared, if any documentations we have not done, then later on what will happen, guys? Client will say that no, during this meeting we had a discussion and I said like we are having 14 projects. You are saying that during that meeting we agreed on 12 projects. Right now we are saying 14 projects. So is there any proof? Of course, blueprint document will be there, right? So generally, as per rule, once the blueprint is prepared, then we are going to proceed further for the third phase, right? But in real time, what is happening, guys? How many people? And once we enter in third phase, then what will happen, guys? Because the blueprint is prepared and signature we have already taken, so all the requirements are going to be freezed. But is it going to be followed in real time, guys? No. In real time, it is not going to be followed. In real time, most likely, you won't be knowing that when first phase came and when first phase was over, and when we have entered in second phase and when we have entered the third phase and all. But now the thing is, during interview, you can't say that no, we have not followed this ASAP methodology, right? Of course, people are going to follow, all the steps will be there, right, during implementations and all. But generally, second phase discussions are going on. At the same time, some people they will start configurations also, right? So we are in second phase also, we are in third phase also, isn't it? So in real time, of course, whatever, like let's suppose you guys are going to study certain books in 12th class, but once you come into real practical, right, you guys might have studied a financial statement, right? So format of financial statements was different. But once you come to in real practical, it is going to be different, right? So now here, generally what happens, guys, it depends upon, like let's suppose if the client has given a new requirement, then from our side the project manager will say no, this is not the standard, it is going to cost you extra. If they are agreed on that amount, then we'll say that you do one thing, then increase the budget that they have already increase the timeline also, deadline also. If they are agreed, then what is happening, that blueprint whatever we have prepared earlier will be thrown in the dustbin, and again the soft copy is already there. So in that, people are going to add one more requirement from client side, and again next sign off within 5 to 10 minutes will be there, right? So in real time, guys, lots of things are happening, which is not permissible, advisable by SAP. These things, it's not the best practice that we are in third phase and again we came back to second phase, right? But yes, in real practical, since everybody's are revenue centric, every project manager want to generate more and more revenue for their company, because their promotions, their growth is depends upon that only, right? So lots of things are happening in real time. So anyway, guys, here the the another question was, okay, so you said like you have prepared the blueprint. So you tell me which version of blueprint, on which version of blueprint you have sent to the client for sign off. So now here I got an answer from everybody 1.2, 1.2, 1.2, right? Okay, so this is the smart answer is approved version, right? Approved version is nothing but it is called final version, right? Whatever blueprint which is not approved, that is called draft version. That is called draft version. Okay, look at here, the spelling mistake is there. So guys, kindly ignore the spellings and all. I always type in shortcut. Now, so this is the first one is called draft version. It is not approved. Second one is also not approved, so this is also draft version, right? The third one which is approved by client, this is the final version, right? So we can't say 1.2, 1.3 because if the 1.2 is also not approved, then I guess again next version is going to be prepared by client. Sorry, prepared by you. Some changes are going to be made, and again next version is going to be right. So final version we are going to send to the client for sign off purposes. Once the sign off is done, guys, then what will happen? It means requirement got freezed. Now we are going to move to the third phase. So third phase I'll explain in next session, guys.